Do 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 do. Here's notify the cord. Let's do that. Let's go over here. Let's change the command really quickly. And then next. Shoot, what was I looking for? Okay, there it is. That's probably for the better. I am very toasted right now. Where the hell would it be? Maybe beacons? Oh, there it is. Yeah, beacons. Let's see here. Good morning from your favorite heteroflexible man. Why did you put that in apostrophes? What the hell, man? What'd I do? The fuck I do? Come on, man. What, like I'm straight. I'm very straight. I just did something really straight before this. Come on, man. What are we doing? Although, what's up, Lieber? How we doing? Sorry, just getting set up. Just gonna wait for it for a bit. Bop, bop. Yeah, straight. Very much so. Yes. Correct. Yes. Very straight. Extremely straight, even. Yes. That's how that works. I'm the straightest person I know. All right. Anyway, I got a couple things to do. I'm not sure what. Oh, yeah. Gotta pin this. Uh, you're good. Good to hear it. Good to hear it. I gotta pin this just in case. You believe that you believe that? Okay, yeah. Well, that's I feel like that shouldn't read into that too much. Yeah, I think that's a very straightforward thing you just told me. Absolutely. All right. There are too many designed coincidences in the Gospels for them not to be eyewitness accounts. Fuck. What's up, Marco? How you doing? What's up, HOA Gaming Channel? How you doing? How's y'all's doing? How is y'all's doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Make sure to like this stream if you helps me out. What will happen to the world without humans? Like without humans in particular, a lot of our like buildings and houses and everything are just going to, not be maintained, going to fall to the elements. Unregulated plant growth. A lot of species will die out, like dogs. Not dogs, but like, like little dogs like chihuahuas and shit are going to die out. Um Nuclear reactors are going to explode. A lot of different things, but nature will recover. I shit you not. Like 1,000 years from now, like everything will be all right. Am I homophobic? I am not homophobic in the slightest. You support my delusions? Delusions is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Can I gambling? Can I gambling? Can I gamble or do I enjoy gambling? What do you mean? If it's can I gamble? I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. You're also an atheist. You used to be a Christian. Liked? Hell yeah, love to see it. What's up, God Profex? How you doing? Profex? Profex? I don't know. Have you read Islam? I've read the Quran. The Quran is not for me. The Quran is a book of some wild things that I'm not gonna get into. But yeah, it's not for me. You can't stop gambling. Oh man, I'm probably not the guy to talk to about that. Honestly, I don't gamble, so I can't empathize with you on that one. You have one question: where does the universe exist? Like in and of itself, right? Like where does it exist? Like in relation to what? As far as we can tell, the universe is all that there is. So like, I don't know how to answer that one. Can you ask me anything? Yeah, you can ask me just about anything. What denomination were you when you were a Christian? I was in a string of Baptist churches until I was 16, and then I was in an apostolic church until I was 18. And then after that, like the year I spent deconstructing, I was out of the church. Genesis 1:1 is very clear. God damn it, Marco. You're agnostic. I'm agnostic too. I don't think a God that's outside of everything is a knowable position personally. So I hold out reservation, but do I accept any of the claims or give any sort of credence to the possibilities laid forth in the world religions we have so far? Absolutely not. Is it true that in a few billion years the sun could explode? Yeah, that's where all the science leads us to believe it's going to happen. It's a universe is not universe, but the sun's going to, get way too hot, way too, dense. Uh, I don't know. I'm very, I'm very toasted right now. So it was just my birthday, but yeah, the sun's gonna supernova is all I'm getting at. Thank you, brother. You pronounced it correctly. Either way, it's fine. It's my edgy music name. Ooh, what kind of music do you make? With a name like that, I would say like, if I had to take a guess, I would say maybe prog, or like just regular metal, or maybe just like EDM of some sort. I don't know. The internalized homophobia is crazy. I don't have any internalized homophobia. What the hell? What do you mean by that? Seem pretty chill. Do you drink, and why did you become atheist? Or also an atheist? You trust science? Hell yeah, I do drink. I'm kind of drunk right now. It was just my birthday. Me and my person went out, got steak and salad and stuff, and then came back, drank some more, smoked some more. So I do all those things, but I'm an atheist because I just don't see any evidence for God. I looked for evidence, all the evidence sucked, and so that's why that's why I don't believe in God anymore. Good to see you though. Have a good rest of your night, Tom. Appreciate you. Can I come quicker, pretty please? Yeah. If, with this current administration, I kind of wish for the supernova at this point, or something even more outlandish, like the Earth just exploding out of nowhere. How do you stop your mom from forcing you to go to church? I say communicate that you just don't believe in those things if you think that you're like in a safe environment or like it won't strain your relationship in any sort of way. If not, though, I mean, that's if you still live with her, and I say think of your shelter first. Just like consider it like a once a week annoyance. I don't know. It's tough out there. Religious people can be kind of crabby about that stuff. So I do wish you the best, though. 500 people saw resurrection of Jesus. Why don't you believe? That's just a claim in 1 Corinthians 15:6. That's all that is. It's just an unsubstantiated claim. It's like any book can claim anything. But should I believe it as true just because it says the thing? No. Should I believe that like if I were to write a book today that says like 37,000 people saw me punch the ground into dust with just my bare hands, like should you believe it? No, you shouldn't believe such a thing. Praying to Father God that you accept yourself what you truly are and stop pretending. The Father God is crazy. What's an atheist? Somebody who doesn't believe in any God or God figures. That's it. You can really relate on the comment on the screen by the atheist part. Hello. Hello, how you doing? Yeah, it's yep, no gods up there. It's just us. We're just down here doing our things as far as we can tell. So yeah, good to see you. It's me, not Mickey Mouse. Are you sure it's not Mickey Mouse? I don't know. You say some Mickey Mouse ass shit sometimes, dude. I don't know. But what's up, Mr. Gecko? You Christian now, by the way? You decided in the last 5 seconds? Okay, got you. My bad. Why'd you walk away from him? So I left my faith after about a year and a half of deconstruction, and deconstruction is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe, interrogating your faith, taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece, and checking to see if you find any veracity in the claims of the faith. And ultimately, for me, after about a year and a half of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine. By the way, God Profix, thank you for the subscription. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. Thank you. The pastor will eventually ask you to stop. I did not go to church. Keep asking pastor for evidence. The pastor will eventually ask you to stop coming. Yeah. I mean, you could try that out, but mileage may vary on that one, to be honest with you. I used to ask my pastor for evidence a lot, and they didn't really have an issue with it. It just has some stupid answers. Just because you don't believe in a book doesn't mean a God doesn't exist. Right, so I'm agnostic. I don't know if God existing is even a knowable position. If it exists outside of our reality, outside of our space and time and everything we can use to verify it. I mean, we otherwise call things like that non-existent, so it's just an unsubstantiatable position. So if that's the case, you know, could not be. I just don't believe in it one way or the other. Pretty baked yourself. I hope you have a good night. Subscribe since you seem like an awesome guy. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Do I believe in intelligent design? No, because I'm not seeing the intelligence of the Earth or the universe that we live in currently. The real Lil Zozo boy, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you. The disciples all got brutally executed for what they claimed they saw. All they had to do was say they made it up. Yeah, 19 terrorists flew 2 planes into some buildings. Well, I think it was some multiple buildings, but they stole 4 planes and flew them into buildings on September 11th, 2001 for what they believed in. And I can verify that happened. I saw it on the news when I was like 5 years old. So yeah, I don't know if we want to go the route of just saying, oh, they said the thing and they could have lied about the thing to not, die the way that they wanted to. It's just like, it's not going to get you very far. Uh, will I renounce Satan on air? What do you mean renounce Satan? I don't believe in Satan. Did you read any books that changed your beliefs? Yeah, the Bible. The Bible changed my beliefs. Clammy boy, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Your pineal gland is your connection to source. No, my pineal gland regulates, different things in my endocrine system. You're a Mr. Gecko, not Mrs. Gecko. That's my bad. Sorry. Just because, see here, just because you believe in a book, it doesn't mean God exists. Yeah, that's true. That's that too. Satan is inside him. Father God, please save him. Reach inside and pull Satan from his soul. Oh, we're going to get to that later. Trust me. We're going to get into reaching inside me for sure. What's a creative, cheap date idea? Picnic for sure. Find a park where they allow you to like loiter for a bit if you got a nice park near you. Just some snacks, maybe like make a big sandwich or something. Ride on out there. That's the go-to when you don't have a lot of money to work with for sure. 2 buildings and one was crashed in the field. Yeah, I mean technically, well, 3 buildings too, the Pentagon, but yeah. See here, do you have any children? If you do, explain that miracle only if you have children. I don't have kids, but I could even explain that miracle even since I don't have kids. When you have sex with somebody and you finish, you ejaculate, right? You ejaculate into the other person, and so you in that ejaculate you got sperm cells, and that's inside the other person. Most times they have egg cells, and when those 2 things come together, the genetic information fertilizes. Well, the sperm cells fertilize the egg cells. The genetic information creates a human being. And it's something that we evolved to be able to do over the course of millions and millions and millions of years. So, no one will let someone else kill them for something they don't believe. All they have to do is say they made it up. I mean, we could just keep repeating, oh, book says thing, therefore thing true all we want to. But I mean, I already gave my explanation. If God exists itself, it won't really punish someone for not believing in someone that is fantastic. It will punish someone by his sins, not by his faithful. Yeah, I think that would probably be the more just thing to do, is just not send people to be tortured for all of eternity just for not believing that you exist. I think that would be absurd. And for me, it makes more sense as a human intention and what helped me deconstruct, instead of something an actual creator of a whole universe would want to do. There's a guy called Wes Huff. He does a really good job explaining how the Bible came to be. He's a Christian, but still interested in how he explains things. Yeah, I know of Wes Huff. I've seen 1 or 2 of his videos. He's just a classic run-of-the-mill apologist. Goes into biblical lore itself. Cool, but I've read the Bible twice. There's nothing he can tell me nothing he could say or do, honestly, if he's speaking biblically, that'll make me believe in the story. Do I think raccoons are awesome? I like raccoons, yeah. Do I support the Emperor for Warhammer 40k? I'm not familiar with the lore of Warhammer 40k, sorry. All creation from a creator, one who believes in God. I mean, yeah, creation comes from a creator, sure, but explain how the universe itself is creation. You won't be able to demonstrate it. Much love, A. Marie. Just going around showing some smaller creators some love, kindness, and respect. Glad to hear it, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate the love and the kindness and respect and the calling me a small creator. Okay. We got here. Had to do a Google Slides on raccoons this week. Oh man, one of my exes used to have a pet raccoon. Oh no, it was a pet possum. They died shortly after we got together. Keep pushing, keep grinding, keep a positive mindset, and never lose focus on your goals. Let no one stop you. Not even haters. Just not been there and got your back. Appreciate that, A. Marie. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Do I like Star Wars? I like I've seen most of the movies and they're good. They're fine. I like them. I've never had an issue with them. It's just I'm not super deep into the lore, honestly. Do I support the Emperor? I've already answered this. I don't know what to tell you. You don't get much love, kindness, or respect in these comments. Yeah, especially from my fans. They're the I say fans, my followers. Fans. I don't have fans. I don't think I'll ever have fans, but yeah, especially from my followers that are named after astrological signs. They're pretty disrespectful. You ain't getting free followers. 448 and counting so far. So there we go. 23,000, no, 24,000 on TikTok. Shit. So I mean, we're doing all right so far. What's up, Rip Van Winkle? How you doing today? Good to see you again. Yo, Unchained has his own life. God accepts everyone. Everyone should be positive. He is just like everyone else. Oh, I appreciate it. Hunting with Hayden is just preaching, yawn. I don't say I'm an atheist, but when someone says there's God, I'll listen, but I just don't know. You can believe something without knowing, you know? I mean, belief and knowledge are two different things, though, right? One's a claim on like what you, like where you're, once you're convinced of, and the other is like what you can verify. And so I can't verify whether or not there's a God, so I call myself agnostic, but I don't have a reason to believe that there is one, so I call myself an atheist. See what we got here. 438 on YouTube. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. You subbed. I appreciate it, Retro Games. Thank you. Gotta go have a good night. You have a good rest of your night, Clammy Boy. Appreciate you being here. They were talking about the Emperor from Warhammer 40k. I'm not familiar with the lore, so I can't answer. By the way, let me get a little bit more in my system. You leaving to get Mr. Gecko? Yes, so have a great rest of your night. Do you play Oblivion? No, I don't play Oblivion personally. I just play like I used to play a lot of Valorant. Now I just play some like GTA 5 and like GeoGuessr, honestly. Yeah, thank you for subscribing to the YouTube. I appreciate it. Should you go back to TikTok now? I'm not live on TikTok, so I mean, if you want to, sure, go for it. But you won't find me there tonight and for the next week or so. How do you think humans were made if you're an atheist? I think humans evolved from a common ancestor, and I think that life in general, like the ability of organisms to self-replicate, happened due to abiogenesis over the course of millions and millions of years. Do you have a Lego collection? No, I used to not Legos, but you know Connects. That's probably a deep cut. I don't know if they still make them, but KNEX. It's like they're made by Lego, but they're different kind of. I used to collect those. Those had a huge box of them, but they got lost in a move one time, so I kind of miss them. I was stronger than 100 million brothers and sisters that slipping into the egg. Hell yeah. I feel you know, never mind. It's. Oh wait, no, I'm not on TikTok. I still want to explain it, but yeah, fun story. That's kind of like a. It's not about which one gets there first. It's what's the first one to get there that's most viable. What would say you turned you from believing? I just looked at the evidence and saw none of it convincing. That's what turned me from the evidence. I looked into the evidence. The evidence sucked, and so I was like, okay, well, I've been lied to. Things happen. It's okay. I think there's a creator, but I just don't know. I'm not certain. The name or presence just confusing. Get a lot of hate from my friends because I can't change my mind. Oh yeah, nothing wrong with it. Don't be apologetic for your beliefs. If you think there's just like a creator and that's all you think there is to it, I mean, you're a deist, and that's fine. Deism's cool. You want to talk to me? I mean, talk. You're there. I'm not on TikTok, so I can't even tell you like go to TikTok and call in or anything because I'm banned on TikTok currently. Well, suspended on TikTok currently. So yeah. For the mountains were born. Just Psalms 92. Do I still read the Bible? I've read the Bible twice. I'm not gonna read it again. I've read a really good translation of it. I've read a bad translation of it back when I was a Christian, and I've read the Quran. I'm gonna read the Book of Mormon next. I figure out somebody's got to have it right, right? Obviously not the Abrahamic faith, but you know, I want to get more educated before people come in and you know say whatever. UP birthday? What the fuck? Huh? Come on, man. Oh, thank you, BBO. Thanks for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Read the Bible. It's the truth. I've read the Bible twice. I've read the Bible more than the average Christian. You made custom pieces and made yourself space marines. Ooh. What's your number on the Dawkins scale? I'd say I'm right along with them. I think the position of God is so untenable that it's not worth a considerable amount of dissection. So that being said, it's you know the claims of it are outside of everything we can use to verify it. So you can't by nature say it one way or the other. I think I'm as close to being an atheist as you can possibly be. Get out? No, thank you. Former Christian, yeah. You do not want to be in hell. I don't believe hell exists, so I don't take that threat seriously. Uh, Jesus from the Bible here, you'll be a Fortnite skin. If they ever make a Jesus Fortnite skin, that'll be hilarious. I'd probably start playing Fortnite again, honestly. Doesn't help that the majority of Christian arguments rely on circular reason, and if this thing is true, this thing is also true. Yeah, a lot of Christian arguments are just like, Bible is true because Bible is true, or baseless presupposition that I made up, or that I pulled from somebody else, or logical fallacy. That's literally all it is. What's your number on the Kinsey scale? I don't even know what the Kinsey scale is. Do I believe in magic and voodoo? No, I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine or paranormal or spiritual or religious or anything like that. Personally, Jesus' name spelled backwards is sausage. Yeah, sausage. Yeah, you're correct. Shit. Do I believe in frog Jesus? No, just gecko Jesus. Hate when people say I'm atheist when I just say I don't know. Like, dude, don't assume I'm atheist just because I don't know the name. I really think there's a God, but there's a thing to what? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Personally, I'm a Christian, but you can't be but you can be an atheist, and I won't judge or try to convert because that's rude to ignore your thought. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate the respect. Love to hear it. Why you former Christian? Lack of evidence is why I'm a former Christian. If there were convincing evidence for God, I'd still be a Christian. Google it. If it's some stupid shit, I'm gonna mute you for the rest of the stream. 1 second. The Kinsey scale, or heterosexual homosexual rating scale, is a 0 to 6 scale used to describe a person's sexual orientation. All right, dude, come on, man. What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Anyway, come on, dude. Why are we asking this? Like a 1. The Bible's just old teaching. I bet you wouldn't be the guy you are now without your religious upbringing. That's true. Yeah. I wish I was taught true things growing up, but I've learned a lot of valuable lessons from it, so I'm cool. We can do it. Do I believe in my mom? Yeah, I've seen her, met her, talked to her. Wish I hadn't, but yeah. Uh, will I go into a mosque and say they're full of it? No, because they're violent people. No. Plus, like, I'm not. That's antagonistic. That's edgy. Just like, oh, let me go into somebody's place of worship and say like, hey, what you believe in isn't real. Go into their space. That's fucking stupid. But even beside that, they're like a very violent, not very smart. So, they get my stream taken down every time I criticize their book. So yeah, got nothing too good to say about their religion. If you were on a plane and it was crashing, you wouldn't pray? No. I've almost choked to death before and prayer wasn't on my mind. You've talked to Jesus? No, I don't think anybody's talked to Jesus. Oh, never mind. Do you believe that Jesus was real even if you don't believe he was God? Personally, I lean toward no. Granted, just for argument's sake, because, like, why not? Regular person or not existent at all, like, the result's the same either way. If you see here, I don't blame you for being an atheist. Live how you want. Don't let people stop it. Appreciate that. I enjoy Splatoon 3. Splatoon 1 was a solid game. I played it back when it first came out in, like, what was it, 2015, 14? I don't know, somewhere in there. You should pray every day. I don't believe in God, so no, I don't pray. You just said Muslims are violent. I mean, yeah, I did. Absolutely, I did. Not all of them, for sure, but, out of the people doing religious violence, they're pretty high up on the list nowadays. Used to be Christians, now, they've been replaced. Read the Bible, New World Translation of the Holy Scriptures. No, I'm not going to read another Bible translation. Sorry. Hey, Mister, what's up, Karina? How you doing? Do I like Skibbity Toilet, dude? Devontae, what kind of question is that, man? I'm 29 years old. What kind of question is that, dude? Of course, I like Skibbity Toilet. To do a quick exercise, take one of your beliefs, justify it, and then justify that belief. Keep going until you hit a wall, and then say how those other contingent beliefs are justified. Oh, Agrippa's trilemma. Yeah, basically, that beliefs either are justified circularly or what is it? It's either circular or axiomatic. I forget the third one, but yeah, I'd say a lot of the things I believe in are axiomatic. Like, I believe that there's a bottle of mustard on my desk, and that's an axiomatic truth based on the fact that I'm looking at a bottle of mustard on my desk. So, but I feel like a lot of people who try to argue for an inability for atheists to justify their position kind of forget that axiomatic things are true. You also switched to atheism because Christianity was heavily pushed onto you as a kid, so you basically felt as if the religion was more of a chore slash punishment than a gift or belief. I'm happy for you, and I'm happy for you too. I'm very happy for you. You know, if you're not convinced of something, if something's like only doing bad for your life, absolutely leave that shit. 100%. Let's say you're right and there's no God. Why do you think? Why do you think? I'm guessing beliefs in God exist. Like, why do people believe in gods? It's cultural. It's a part of like cultural identity in multiple parts of the world. Why is it so widespread, especially like Christianity and Islam? Because they went around the planet colonizing everybody. You know, I'm quarter native, quarter Blackfoot, so you know my tribe nowadays is in Montana, and I've heard the stories from them. You know, as with most native cultures, also half black. You know, it's got a lot of negative things to say. So yeah, they went around the planet colonizing everything, kind of killing people for not converting. So that's why a lot of people accept it. And that's why they let it into their cultural identity. I feel like the reason people believe in God is like comfort. Yeah, among many reasons for sure. That's one of them. We don't actually have any proof of God. That is correct. If that were not correct, then I'd probably believe in a God. Have you ever considered trying DMT to experience God directly? Funny story, Kian or Kian. I don't know. But wait one second. Let me turn my heater down. Shit. But funny story. Yeah, I've done DMT. I've done acids a few times. Like LSD. Done psilocybin, mushrooms, and truffles. I've done DMT once, salvia once, 2CB like twice, 2CE once, peyote like 3 times somewhere in there, and like a bunch of other dissociatives and stimulants and depressants and shit. And I didn't meet God on it. I just saw like the machine elves and all that good stuff. It was, there was nothing divine about what I saw. Are we doomed? I don't think we're doomed. I mean, doomed as in like our species is gonna die out. Yeah, that's gonna happen eventually, but we'll get there. Here comes the long list. The list is a lot longer, but I'd seem like a crackhead if I were to go over my whole list. Uh, was the League of Militant Atheists justified in killing believers? I don't think so. I don't think it's justified to kill somebody for their beliefs. If you want to like which League of Militant Atheists are we talking about though? No, axioms aren't based on anything. That's the point. It's less no one at mustard is on your table. It's how's that gross? It's a bottle of mustard. I gotta put it back in my fridge, but it's in a bottle. It's there because it's based on the evidence of your senses. Why are your axioms true? I mean, if you're going to accept that, if you don't think that your sense data can lead to an accurate understanding of the reality around you, then at that point, just kill yourself. That's a really bad life to live. That's if you think if you got to collapse so hard into solipsism, skepticism that you can't even accept like that your ability to perceive things is accurate, then I don't know what to tell you. By the way, I don't actually do such a thing, and it's not anger reason I'm saying that, but it's like I mean, at some point we have to accept that we are able to perceive the reality around us. The hell? There we go. Well, you're now atheist and don't believe in God anymore. Lack of evidence is why I don't believe in God. Do you think some religions have cultist like tendencies? Absolutely, they do. Yeah. The Mormons they're pretty out there. Jehovah's Witnesses. I mean, those are both denominations, not like individual religions, but those are pretty out there. Scientologists are just really wonky. Yes. Yeah. Pray to God some Father may liberate and release you from your unholy ways. Fuck no. Fuck no. You're a cross emoji? Well, I hope that's not painful. Uh, do I believe in a soul? No, I don't believe in a soul. I think that souls are I think they're just fake, honestly. Christians will say respect all religions until it's a Satanist or atheist. Yeah, it's always love thy neighbor until that person's like gay or trans or speaking through religion. Speaking historically like Native American or black. It's always love thy neighbor until it's somebody you can subjugate. Uh, I think there is some God, no matter who it is, Greek, Roman, Christian, anything. I choose to believe there's some kind of God, and I don't force people to believe in it, though. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. You can justify because you're a theist. You don't want to believe in God because of lack of evidence when God is immaterial and a basis for everything. So, like, what's the standard? What's the standard for what? Evidence? Standard for reality around me? Or the standard for logic? The standard for being able to derive truth claims? Like, what? What transcendental nonsense are we going for here? You believe in fairy tales? Snow White is your god? I would have more so picked Rapunzel, but by all means, go for it. Nothing happens after we die. I mean, besides like the people around you getting really sad about it and your body dying off. No, I don't think anything happens. If you ate yourself, would you double in size or disappear? Like if I were to do it like right now, I couldn't manipulate reality. I would technically stay the same size. Like I'd have part of me in my stomach, just like inside of my stomach instead of like, where it normally is on my body. And then the rest of me will be dead because eventually I'll lose too much blood or get to something vital. Tiana, you love your Creole queen. Of course, somebody from Louisiana would say that. No, but you've had astral travel, saw your body land, and you were out. Maybe those are imaginations, but it felt real. That's why I believe in afterlife. I mean, that's fine. If you had an experience that convinces you, I mean, more power to you for sure, right? God is our Lord. Okay, it's preaching. Where do I get my morals from? Empathy. From my ability to be empathetic. I get my ability to be empathetic by way of evolutionarily evolving that ability so that I and everybody else can form societies where our offspring can thrive and where there's enough resources to go around. My life circumstances, my mental state, my societal expectations, cultural, my culture, parental upbringing, all sorts of different things. Palm Tree, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Do you believe we're in a simulation? No, I don't think we're in a simulation. I think that I think reality is what it is for sure. Why'd you change your religion? It's lack of evidence is why I changed my religion. Can you tell us how you became a Christian originally? I was raised Christian. I was a Christian or at least told that, Christ was real, God's real. He was the Son of God, crucified for sins, yada yada, from like as far back as I can remember. So, yeah. Your empathy came from your religious upbringing. If that's the case, then religious people currently would be empathetic. But you can see in a lot of different cases that's not the case. Is there any evidence that will make you believe in God? Just curious. Yeah, something that shows that God exists and the evidence itself can't possibly be used to, there's a reasonable point where you have to accept evidence, right? Like, I believe that a bottle of mustard exists on my desk because I can see the bottle of mustard. And I believe that I have the ability to love because the feeling I get when, people have, similar experiences. When I have the experiences that are similar to other people, make me feel something that other people define to be love, right? If God were given a similar level of evidence, I believe in it, but I don't think I'm ever going to get that personally. Psalm 14:1, the fool has said in his heart, there's no God, they are corrupt, they have done abominable works, there's none that does good. Yeah, the Bible also says you can own slaves if you're an Israelite. And it also says that it also tells the story of how Samuel told Saul to kill children. So, I mean, it also says that everybody came from two people, which is false. It says that the planet was flooded. That's false. It says that people can rise from the dead. That's false. It says people can be born of a virgin. That's false. So the Bible says a lot of stuff, like stupid shit. So I don't know if we want to go the route of saying like, oh, well, it says this one thing that gives me justification to call you a fool. It's like, okay, sure. I'm foolish for saying there's no God, but you're not a fool for thinking that the earth flooded with more water than it has on it. Do I believe in deism? No, I'm not a deist. I don't believe in any creator or anything whatsoever. You hate mustard too? If it's any consolation, it's like honey Dijon, which is pretty good. It's like kind of sharp and kind of sweet. Better than yellow mustard. I like yellow mustard too, but it's the good stuff. Jesus ate mustard. Did he though? I mean, he ate vinegar. Heyo. You've ever been afraid of the chance that no matter how much of a good person you are, we'll all end up suffering in the afterlife? I feel like that's unreasonable to think, so not personally. I think if there is a God, then it would either care little about anything that you've done and the afterlife it has for you it has for everybody unilaterally, or there's no God and there's nothing to scared. No, nothing to be scared of anyway. So it's either one or the other, at least as far as what seems most likely to me. So the idea that there is a God and he wants us all to suffer for whatever reason is just logically, not emotionally speaking, but logically speaking, like just makes too many assumptions for me. What kind of evidence do you want for general theism? God has claimed as the foundations of logic. You accept axioms without evidence. To what standard is your view superior? If you think that axioms require some sort of external grounding or some sort of outside grounding, then that's just like, I mean, a category error at that point. It's like basically how if I were to say like, who created God, what created God, or like, what justify God's minds to create axioms or create logic, you say that's a category error, and you'd be correct because God's defined as the grounding for these things. But for me, the laws of logic and that everything is what it is and that it isn't what it isn't, and there's no middle ground between the two. These are self-evidently true. And so if you want to just like for some weird reason say, oh, it's a God that did it, in particular like God of this book with talking animals, I mean, go for it. But until we demonstrate that has to be some sort of outside mind to justify these concepts in the first place, it sounds to me like it's just like some weird attempt to use your religion to take credit for somebody being able to use logic. Same way that y'all do with morals too, but slightly different. Do you know that there are many things around us that are invisible to the eye? Yeah, but I'm not saying that God's the reason I don't believe in God, or the primary reason, is solely because of his invisible nature. That's a non sequitur. Yeah, I gotta smoke that real quick. The holy cigarette. Yeah, fuck it. 1 second. Do I have a? Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the good stuff. Mm. 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 By the way, the gospel of the day is John 20. No, I'm not going to read Bible verses. Another, I already read that. If God is everything, then why would it feel the need to personify itself into a form we can understand? Right. And especially to a form we can understand in only like one region, when there's a whole planet of people and always has been, well, not always has been, but would have been a whole planet of people 6,000 years ago, right? And not, when there's like also countless planets in our universe, it just seems a little odd to me. You did good picking science over God. Yeah, I think everybody should pick what's verifiable over not verifiable. What's your name? You can call me Hugh. We can just go with that for now. No proof in the Bible, no proof anywhere. True. So you don't really claim that atheism is a superior view to general theism? I mean, what do you mean superior? More correct? I mean, there's no way to prove it one way or the other, right? To prove that there is no God versus to prove that there is one, when the God you believe in is like otherwise the thing that you're arguing for in the first place. So you can't use to justify your position automatically. I'd say in that regard, maybe, but if we go about just like ontological complexity, I'd say atheism is more likely, but I don't know. But superior is subjective. No one here has ever died, so no one knows if God is real, but I still believe in him with whole heart and soul. Well, good for you. Uh, why are absentee fathers generally looked down upon and treated as awful, yet God, supposedly our Father, with who no one has ever seen, is supposed to be praised and worshipped? Yeah, 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 but yeah, you know what? I got nothing to add to that. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Do you agree that everything is powered by something somehow? Powered by something like the universe itself, like the entirety of the manifold itself, or the construct or space itself? I'd say no, but things within the universe that are like general parts of it. I mean, sure. Seth, I didn't say that, but if you want to argue straw man, go for it. Satan bless you. What's your opinion on Georgia Stones? I don't know what Georgia Stones is or who it is or what it is. Read the Bible once and that's enough. Thank you. Yeah, I've read it twice and never again. Uh, would it be appropriating straight culture if I called you bro? What the? I mean, kind of, but yeah. You're like half straight anyway, so you can just like call me half the word. You can call me like br or something like br. Yes, the entirety. Oh, then no, I don't think that the entirety of the universe required some sort of like something to power it or something outside of it. I think that's a unprovable position at best and like an ontologically unlikely position at worst. What's your opinion on Super Mario Bros. Hentai? What? Huh? What? Super Mario Bros. Hentai? If you're watching Super Mario Bros. Hentai, then like, I mean, get some help. Uh, what's your? Oh, I already read that. I'm very toasted right now. You love to chat with this guy privately. You can do so on Discord. If you're over the age of 18, if you're under 18, don't join my Discord. But if you're over, join my Discord. It's right there. There's the pinned comment. Go there. Discord should be somewhere on there. Rude, you're very gay. Okay, my bad. My bad. Yeesh. Uh, how else does it work in your explanation? Explanation. I think the universe itself has always existed. It's like if matter as we know it can't be created or destroyed, then like except under like extreme quantum conditions, then a the matter was created under quantum conditions, and you could just argue like God is the power like the thing that powers quantum conditions. It's like go for it, sure, but if you want to just say like can be created or destroyed, period, then you have to say it always existed if it exists. Kind of gets into why atheists over theists. I find tag to be convincing, but I can only explain it to the point that it becomes clear there's no way via logic to place atheism above theism. The issue with theism, like with tag, is that it just operates off a baseless presupposition. You know, like I don't want to bash somebody solely for being a metaphysical idealist, right? Because like whatever convinces you, but until somebody demonstrates that and then demonstrates why a God is necessary for metaphysical concepts, when I can just easily say that there are things that our brains conceive of because our brains work, it's just, I just won't find it convincing personally. Open the Bible. I've read the Bible twice. To think that science says something came from nothing is moronic. Go do some research. It doesn't come from your Bible classes. Yeah, he's one of those like weird passive aggressive people that just want to say something, but you know, it's just want to like do a drive by like, huh, God bless, something from nothing. You're a moron. Haha, God bless, and just get out of here. He got us attention. He know what he wanted. What denomination did you grow up in? I was a Baptist. I was Baptist for 16 years and then Apostolic for 2 years. Something had to create it. Something had to create the creator. Now you're gonna say no, of course not. It's the creator, but until you can demonstrate why your God's allowed to be eternal, but the universe isn't, then you're just making shit up. Have a good rest of your night, Meowsers. Appreciate you. What do you think about Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered? I haven't played it. I'm not super into like those type of games. I'm into like FPSs mostly. The human mind wouldn't understand. I'd go so far as to say I would agree. I think the human mind wouldn't be able to understand something that has the ability to create an entire universe. But at that point, if you don't believe in a thing, you're justified in doing so because you're a human, you have a mind, and you can't understand it. Uh, what's your opinion on the Georgia Stone? I don't know what the Georgia Stones is. I've never heard of them. I don't know what they are, so I have no opinion about them. The definition of Yahweh in English is something science is trying to explain. The name is a force in nature that means to cause it became. Oh, sweet. I mean, etymology proves God. That's quite the position. Also, the Higgs boson is not it's not called the God particle because it's like a particle of God or anything. It's the story behind it. It has nothing to do with religion. It's about a guy that had trouble mathematically finding a particle, and then the equation finally worked out, and he called it the goddamn particle because it finally made sense. Do I have a significant other? I do. I do. We ate steak and got very drunk earlier, and other stuff I'm not going to talk about. I've read the Bible. Oh, well, you're just telling people to read the Bible. Just read the Bible, read the Bible, open the Bible. I've read it twice, 2 times, twice. Here we go. Let's try and explain why mass is attracted to other mass. I mean, sure, but I'm not seeing how that relates to the God question. Uh, are axioms not precepts? I mean, once we like, if we can think that axioms are presupposed, and then either we don't understand what an axiom is, or we don't think that logic requires some sort of axiomatic grounding, and we just reject it for no reason whatsoever, right? Like, if something that's self-definingly true or self-evidently true is calling it self-evidently true isn't a presupposition. It's like thing is the thing. Like we agree on what things are, and you see the thing, or you define the thing, and then the thing is the thing. Therefore, you know, it's axiomatically true. So I don't know. If you want to just say like, oh, we have to presuppose logic to literally come to any sort of claim whatsoever, I mean, sure, but at that point you might as well just like be a hardcore solipsist. What's an atheist? Somebody who doesn't believe in a god. That's all it is. Georgia Stones are the things called the American Stonehenge. I've never heard of it. TBH with you. I don't really. I say get out of my house, really, but no, I don't really look into different random things like that. Uh, congrats. Let's go. Oh, you must be talking to somebody else. Wait. Doubt it would show me what gave God the ultimate power either. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Gotcha, gotcha. My theory said we are all the universe experience himself from other perspectives, fractalization. Oh, so you're like a pantheist? What's an atheist? Are people like just asking questions and then not listening? Are you like asking questions and then like turning the volume down and then just like, oh, I didn't hear the answer, so let me just turn it back up, or just like, I don't know. If anything could be God, it'd be the universe itself. There's no need to personify the concept of everything. Add a static characteristic to something so grand only takes away from its beauty. True, true. You know, if we want to argue that everything around us is some form of God, I'd say that holds less ontological, what's the word? Complexity, more less than the idea that a separate God exists that created everything, and then like once an attack on top of that, just like this God is described in this particular book with these particular claims, and that just blows the ontological complexity like into it's way out of proportion, so it becomes a lot less likely. Do you believe that positive energy being exerted could be influential, like some law of attraction type of stuff? No, I don't. I don't believe in that personally. Can't be fake because I'm sure that in the Bible says that Job has 12 disciples who will work for him. Oh, huh? Am I live on TikTok? No, I'm suspended on TikTok for a week. Strong battle the floor. Thank you for the follow. Follow the subscribing. I appreciate it. Uh oh, congrats on the sex. Oh, yeah. Well, appreciate that. You love goth women? Let's fucking go. Are you who I think you are? Wish I could have a two-sided conversation with you. You seem like a very intelligent guy. I appreciate that. If you're over the age of 18, join my Discord. That's where I hang out. That's where I do my things. Where I'm at. That's my whole shtick. I'm in there. I got a Snapchat too. I gotta make that visible real quick. I think I hit it on my beacons. Give me a minute. Let's go to my admin link in bio website. Link in bio design, edit profile, edit social icons, add social platform, Snapchat at Skadoosh. Move you up here. Yeah, there we go. That's the good stuff. Now, so let's go over here. Unadded. I forget why I hit it, but oh, because of a dumbass from earlier. Okay, there we go. Yeah, join my Discord or add me on Snapchat. Only if you're over 18, though. I'm not trying to talk to children, especially at my ripe old age. I've been kind of getting into tag, and it's caused my brain to run out of fuel for a while. One thing that really sticks with me is that it seems more and more that any position that God is based on faith. Yeah, that's kind of why, especially like the two most popular religions in the world, like try to put emphasis and virtue on the idea of just having faith. And I mean, that's great. That's cool. Faith is, you know, if that works for you, that's fine. But for me personally, I don't see faith as like a good way to live your life. I don't see a reason to just have blind faith that something exists, you know? Aren't you always toasted? I am not always. I'm not always toasted. On stream, I'd say I'm toasted like 80% of the time. Yeah. If I have it, I'm smoking. Oh, wait, I don't have to say toasted. Stoned. Yeah. I smoked the ganja. Yeah, hell yeah. I forgot I'm not on TikTok. I can say whatever I want. Hell yeah. Still respect people no matter what religion they are. Teacher once told me that. Yeah, it's like if somebody's respectable and if they're like respectful themselves and they're respectful themselves, honest themselves, kind themselves, and I'll be respectful and honest and kind in return. But if they're not those things, then fuck them. No matter what religion they are, atheist, Christian, whatever. I mean, if you don't make your religion your entire life to the point where it feels unbearable to talk to you, I still respect you as a person. Hell yeah. If you knew me like 10 years ago, then yeah, like 10 years ago, you would have not liked me now. Uh, would you say not say your worldview is based on a lot of faith? I don't think faith in the religious context is the most intentional word to use there. I think that inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning is the word to use there. You know, it's like for me, I'm sitting on my bed right now, and so you can say, "Don't I have faith that my bed's gonna stay standing?" I don't think that's faith. I've laid in this thing about a few thousand times. I'm not gonna sit here and try to estimate it, but I've laid in it, and so I've sat on it and laid on it, and it's been no damage to it so far. So I can inductively reason that it's not going to fall on me. So it's not faith. But with the God idea, you have to not see it, and not see it, not feel it, not be able to physically account for it at all, barely be able to logically account for it. I say not at all personally. I mean, I wouldn't be an atheist if I could, right? But not logically account for it at all. Or at the very least, like use like to logically justify it, you have to use like presuppositions and fallacies and shit. Um, so it's like, but still believe in it regardless because it tells you to. Then I'd say that's more so faith, and the Bible even agrees with me on that. Also, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna say fuck dare, but I've been violating dare all night. Uh, let's see how we live our lives. The best advice is just to be a good example. Otherwise, we will always be remembered for something horrible. Yeah. I don't know. Personally, for me, I've stopped caring a lot about how I'm going to be remembered. The people close to me know who I am, what I do. If they like me for it, that's great. If not, whatever. But I feel like trying to live your life in a way that you appease everybody is going to just make you miserable. If someone proved to you that there was in fact a God, would it change the way you live your life? Would I worship that God? No. Like I'll just try to be as intentional as possible with my answer. Would I worship it? No. Would I believe that it exists? Yes. Would I try to talk to it? It depends. Depends on the claims of it. If it's like, would I respect it? No. Would I try to lead people to not be with it for all of eternity? Depends. Yeah, it just depends. If it's the Christian God, I wouldn't respect it, wouldn't worship it. I'd acknowledge its existence and just realize I'm going to hell afterward. Uh, do you believe in karma? Like, what if someone always do bad things in their life and always get away from the law? I don't believe in karma personally. I think it's just like something that people made up to feel better about the idea of the fact of reality that we don't get justice in our world. Because like I look around, I see people that want to disparage everybody, that want to starve people, that want to take from people. These are the ones that do best in life typically. If you don't believe me, look at our president. So no, I don't believe karma's real. I believe that good things happen to good people, good things happen to bad things happen to good people, and bad things happen to bad people. I think it's all just more or less random, honestly. The greatest motivator for humanity is fear, faith, and hope. Comes second to fear when you want people to act a certain way. Most religions exhibit this by threats of punishment if you misbehave, right? Or if you just don't believe in a thing altogether. So, yeah, you hit the nail on the head for sure. Why are you now an atheist? Because I just don't believe in a God. I looked into the evidence for gods, didn't find any convincing evidence, so that's why I don't believe in one. That's why I'm an atheist. Uh, Jesus could materialize in front of me and paint my nails, and I'd still be skeptical. I think that's could be healthy in some regards. If because for me, like I'm so I wouldn't like let me try to use good words here. I accept the consistency of reality so much that if something completely broke reality enough to say, "Hey, I am this thing," then I have no reason to like not believe it. If God were to like just teleport into my room right now and say like, "Here I am," you know, now do what you will with this information. It could be an alien, sure. Could be hallucinating, sure, but I don't hallucinate enough, nor do I see enough evidence for aliens like being able to get to us that I would have no reason to think that it's not what it claims to be. Like is that justified? And maybe not, but I feel like there's a reasonable point of skepticism, and I try not to cross it. Uh, but knowing that appeasing is supposed to come from the heart, I believe more suffering comes from guilt or purpose of purposely being bad. Does that make sense? Nah. I mean, that's just like, I mean, if I'm getting it correct, I mean, if I'm understanding your position correctly, that would just like mean that the universe benefit, the universe, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, the universe benefits sociopathy. That's the word I was looking for. It benefits people just being as guiltless as possible for the bad shit that they do. Uh, the good things go to good, bad things come to bad. It's not aligned with things, not so much with karma, but manifest destiny. Not so much. For me, the point is that good and bad things happen to good and bad people seemingly randomly. You know, I've seen good people like deal with a lot of awful shit. I've seen bad people deal with a lot of awful shit. I've seen good people get good things. I've seen bad people get good things. It happens so randomly, or at least appears so to happen so randomly that I have no reason to believe in karma. It's really hard to hear. I'll absolutely hate if you went to hell. I mean, I don't believe in hell. I think the hell is just like not something that an all good God or an all power like it's not something an all good God would make or allow people to go to if it had the power. And it's not something that an all powerful God would care enough to send people to for simply not believing in it. You know, it seems very much like a human intention for people to go to suffer for all of eternity just for not believing the correct thing. It seems kind of odd to me. Uh, I was just thinking about it earlier, and I think I totally topped Jesus. He seemed chill. I probably top Jesus too. Yeah, probably top him. Probably bend Jesus over. Give him a little, give him a little, you know, get him done before I start my journey. Cause I'm gonna stop caring about getting him off after a while. So I gotta make sure he gets off before we get into it. The fuck am I talking about? We're only human, but there are actually some people who appreciate God for creating us and His Son Jesus for sacrificing His life for us. And I mean that's good for them, but I don't see any evidence that these things are true. So I don't dedicate my life to these untrue things or things that appear to be untrue. For you, what's the purpose of life? I think the purpose of life comes down to whatever you make it. I think this you're the pilot of your own plane, and so you fly it wherever you want to go, basically, um, to the best of your ability. And for me personally, it's the purpose of my life, as I've defined it, is to make the lives of the people around me as easy as possible, and to experience the things I'm interested in experiencing. So yeah, I would that's where I you know find purpose in my life. Do I like IPA beers? Not really. They're too bitter, too heavy, and too just they taste like vomit almost. You know, it's just that bitter kind of like super duper hoppy. It's just not for me personally. I don't know. There's got to be a beer between like light and IPA that's more up my alley, like Blue Moon basically. Blue Moons are pretty heavy, but the taste is sublime. What do you think of an atheist moral system? Seems empathy alone isn't a good to go on. We have other moral instincts, and even then, it's not like even most Nazis were stone cold clinical sociopaths. I mean, were they though? I think the fact that people can do atrocities like the Holocaust and feel fully justified in doing so, and also have the nerve to say that to be Catholic or about like or at least to claim that they're Catholic shows that there's no one true doctrine that's responsible for all of our morality. So for me, it's like ultimately we can't demonstrate moral truths. We can appeal to like what we personally find absolutely awful. Like for me, like pedophilia, I think that's absolutely bad. I don't think it would ever be permissible. But um, we if how do I best go about explaining moral real? I mean, you know what moral realism is, but past the point of trying to appeal to empathy to even define what's morally good and what's morally bad. I mean, past that, I'm not seeing any sort of like objective reason to believe in moral truth. This stream saved you from another doom scroll. Let's go, baby. If there was a God, why He let so many awful things happen to innocent people and kids? Yeah, and I have I have two black grandfathers, a Native American grandmother, and a Polish grandmother, like a white grandmother whose family was originally from Poland before, like they immigrated before the war. So I'm not gonna pretend they're like Holocaust survivors or anything, but you know, knowing that happened to their countrymen is just like from literally every single, like all four of my grandparents came from enslavement, came from beatings, came from genocide, came from awful, awful things at the hands of the religious. So if this is the way God wants to be represented, I mean, on him, I guess. Jesus would be on the dream strap rotation. All right, you're just getting a little too far out there. Let's calm this down a little bit. So you're doing the bending. Oh man, what movie was that off of? I forget. It was a Tyler Perry movie. It wasn't a Medea movie, but it was Tyler Perry for sure. Shit. I can't remember. Anyway, what's up, James? How you doing today? How are you? How's you doing? Do I believe murder is wrong? I believe that murder for like unjustified taking of another life is wrong for sure. I think that if you're like defending yourself, that's not necessarily wrong. Depending, it's like I think the law does a decent enough job of defining like what constitutes murder and not. But in general, yeah, I'd say murder is wrong. Didn't answer me earlier though. Do you believe? Oh, because I didn't see it. Do I believe in states of grace and enlightenment? Enlightenment. Not. It seems like I don't see how that's a definable enough term for me to give a yes or no to that. Nothing supernatural. No, nothing supernatural. For Colored Girls, yeah. Oh man, that was a wild movie, dude. That dude threw them kids out the window. What a fucking piece of shit, dude. Mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, that was a crazy movie. But I don't. I'm not gonna talk about doing the bending. I'm straight. Hope you had a wonderful birthday. I had a very good birthday. Thank you, James, again for your tip yesterday. Yeah, it was a really good birthday. Took the day off work, just chilled, hung out, um, went out, seen some things. Haven't seen Sinners yet, but I do plan to see it this weekend. That's what that money's earmarked for. What's so wrong with me saying Jesus is a dream strap rotation? Having a dream strap rotation is what's wrong with that. Why are we thinking that hard about it? I don't even like what the fuck. Do I believe in evil? I believe in unfavorable actions for sure. I think evil like maybe front loads some sort of outside standard to it or some sort of external like human external standard to it. So not necessarily in that regard, but I do believe that there's bad and there's good. I just don't think it's like some sort of force that governs our actions. Rather, like it's a way that we define our actions. If that makes sense, it's not like what's the word? I'm like not prescriptive or descriptive. Yeah, I believe it's descriptive, not prescriptive. There we go. It's a very normal thing to think about. No, the fuck it is not, man. Absolutely not. Yeah, I'm about to you're incredibly normal. You're about as normal as a green sky. By the way, let me speaking of green, let me, real quick. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hmm. That's the good stuff. That's real good. Nirvana meaning a state of enlightenment from meditating. Yeah, I know what nirvana is. Both the band and the Buddhist belief or the dharmic belief of reaching a complete enlightenment. Do I believe in it though? Not really. Besides like maybe like mental peace, mental clarity, sure, but the way that Buddhists describe it, no, not necessarily. Who said anything is wrong if everything is objective? You mean subjective? And that's us as human beings. Now, why do we come to agreements about certain things like murder, like rape, like pedophilia? Why do we come to agreements on these things? Because of our empathy. Why do we have empathy? Because to establish societies where we can protect ourselves from predators and ensure the survival of our offspring, it would we would have to evolutionarily select for such a thing. We can't be the only intelligent beings in this universe. I don't think we are. I believe in aliens. I don't think we'll ever get to them. I think all the claims that we've seen them or that we've encountered them in some way are fake. I think that we, like people say, oh, UFO this, alien species discovered that. I think they're all full of shit. I think that aliens are too far away from us to ever get to us. Even if they knew exactly where we were, like they wouldn't have the technology or the ability to get to us. Wouldn't know how to, even if they had the technology, and even if they had that technology, they wouldn't want to. So, and even if they wanted to, it would take them way too long to get to us. So, Yeah, I don't think we've encountered aliens, and I don't think we ever will. Do I ever meditate aside from smoking ganja? Not really, to be honest with you. Just not really. My mind goes too fast for me to like sit down with my thoughts for too long. He was a ganja king, indeed, indeed. Speaking of, why does this thing keep going out? I keep saying why does it go out, but I'm sitting here nursing it. Like, what's wrong with me? Jesus is so my type, though. He's a little he's a little sanctimonious for me, a little holy for me, but I'll turn him holy for sure. Are aliens possible? Yeah, I do. I'd say I won't even go so far as to say possible. I think certain. I think it's certain that aliens are out there in some regard, like what they look like, how they talk, if they talk, how they communicate, if they communicate. I think there is some sort of self-replicating organisms out in our universe outside of our planet. I just don't think it's something we'll ever be able to account for. Interesting story on morals. There was this Viking called Eagle. He was in the Baltics for slaves. He was captured and escaped. As he escaped, he thought to himself, they don't even know my name. He went back, trapped his captors in a barn, and set on fire. As they burned, he screamed its name at him. This was seen as not only permissible but morally good by Vikings based on the fairness. Yeah, and I just disagree with the Vikings. But to demonstrate like who's right, like not right, but like who's correct about the permissibility of actions, you'd have to show it some sort of way. That doesn't mean I think that all actions are permissible or not permissible. It's just that's kind of the whole point. It's about what I think, and all moral claims or all moral intuitions comes down to what you personally think about it. I think if awful things like if there was a way to demonstrate like the incorrectness, like the logical incorrectness of moral actions, then there wouldn't be anybody commit atrocity. But here we are. And plus, I feel like the moral argument as it relates to theism kind of it's just an attempt to use a particular theistic doctrine to take credit for one's moral intuitions. Did I ever watch Euphoria? I've seen the first season. I haven't gotten to the second season yet. It's been years. I still haven't gotten to it. I really got to get to it one of these days. Just some thoughts about to play PUBG. PUBG is based. When I played PUBG a few times, that's it still holds up. I don't know why it didn't blow up as big as Fortnite did, but probably because of the realism, probably the lack of like pop culture, whatever in it. But anyway, have a good rest of your night. Appreciate you. All right, let's light this thing back up again. I might switch it up real quick. Let me just get crossfaded. Fuck it. Just find happiness and eternal peace. Yeah, and hopefully try to harm as few people as possible to get to your happiness and peace. You watched it for Hunter Schafer, but you can't bring yourself to finish it. It'll be really I don't know. Did Angus die between? No, he. I saw a scene from him from the second season, so I know he's in the second season. But yeah, that's gonna be tough too. He's one of my like Fesco. He's one of my favorite characters from season one. So the fact that he's dead, it's just that sucks. Yeah, Hunter Schafer's cute though. So the skinwalkers exist. I don't believe in skinwalkers. I think that's like some made up baloney mumbo jumbo. Anyway, cheers. Cheers. Oh man. Oh goodness. God. Oh shit. Oh Satan. Oh damn. Ugh. Anyway, that was a rough one. Good talk, man. Yeah, good talk, man. It's good having you here. Have a nice little stimulating conversation. Yeah, she's adorable. She's absolutely adorable. If I were into those parts, I'm not gonna talk too much in her pants or whatever, but if I were into those parts, yeah, she would. Yeah, I definitely would have been left on red by her. Have I ever seen From? No, I haven't seen From. My sister's seen it. She says it's really good, but I haven't seen it. I don't even know what it's about. Probably got to see it eventually. There's a paranormal by far, but we should call them skinwalkers. Yeah, I don't think that's like I just don't believe in skinwalkers, dude. It's like what are they? Just what do they do? Just take over bodies or something? Or it's like take people's skin or some shit. Heads up, most Christian theologies state that you're only in hell if you want to be. If you think no one wants to be, then you believe it's empty. Only thing in the Bible says some people be like that. Yeah, that's one of the things I heard. Is like you don't God doesn't send you to hell, you send yourself. Um to that I say, how do you send yourself? By, and a lot of times I get, oh, you didn't, like, maybe like for just to condense the words into a way that kind of helps my position a little bit. Basically, like, you don't follow God's rules, you don't do what God tells you to do, you don't follow, you don't believe in him, you don't you sin and do all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, so he does send you to hell, right? And they're like, no, you send yourself by, not living the way he wants you to. And so I think that just doesn't make sense. But yeah, the idea that the only people in hell are people that want to be in hell is an idea that I feel it's God damn, I'm sorry, that shot's hitting me. It's an idea that I find is just trying to absolve God of any sort of responsibility. That's all it is. Have a good rest of your night, Mr. Gecko. From as a Peak Horror TV. Probably got to check it out then. Horror is right up my alley. I love horror. I remember she dated Dominic Fike, I think, and there was big drama. If I kept up with celebrities, I'd be able to tell you about it, but I don't. It's a lot slower for YouTube night. Are you familiar with the theology of invincible ignorance? Invincible ignorance? No, what is it? Maybe I am, but maybe by different words or different terms. But yeah, tell me about it. Before you do that, let me check my TikTok appeal real quick. Oh, it didn't go through. Oh, fuck my life. FML, dude. I probably got to turn on my VPN before I go live again. Gonna be praying for me. Matthew chapter 6 verse 5 says not to be public with your prayer. So if you believe in God, I will probably repent for that. But have a good rest of your night. Appreciate it for what it's worth. Oh man, probably got to restart on YouTube. I don't know how this YouTube algorithm stuff works, honestly. It really pops off around like when I have like TikTok up, but I feel like my TikTok man might have fucked with this too. I don't know. I might just call it early. Just do the drinking and the smoking and pass out. Fuck it. But I'll wait to hear about invincible ignorance before I do that. How long have I been live? 71 minutes. That's a big oof. Big oof. Maybe having the TikTok chat on the screen is what helps. I don't know, but yeah, I might even try TikTok. Say fuck it. Visions of grandeur is invincible ignorance. Wait, visions of grandeur? Like delusions of grandeur? What do you mean? Would I get banned for it? Hate speech. But normally I say I didn't deserve it. In this one I kind of see where they were coming from, because I was talking about a contradiction in the Quran. Well, multiple contradictions in the Quran. The one I like to talk about the most is the multiple different verses that talk about what Allah created us from. And I got like two different explanations from the same guy about why they were contradictions. Like, it was the stages of creation, not, like, we were created from all of these things like dust and clay and like burnt clay and sticky clay and blood and water and nothing, like all at one time, just like in stages. And then he said like another explanation that was just completely separate from it. And then I called him a big fat liar, and I said that every time I mention a Quranic contradiction, that Muslims can't just stop lying about it. So they took me down for it, for talking about Muslims negatively, saying that the people who lie do lie. So normally I bitch about like, I didn't deserve it. And this one I say like, technically I still hold that I didn't deserve it, but like, because I wasn't talking about people of like certain people's race, I'm talking about like my experiences with Muslims. But that being said, I see exactly where they were coming from, so it's okay. It's fine. It's whatever. We'll be back in a week. Invincible ignorance is when you totally don't know that you were sinning, like some dude who grew up in the woods and dies is not guilty of things that were more taught than self-evident. Oh, is that how they justify that people who never hear about Christianity are gonna be all right after it? If that's the case, like, shouldn't don't Christians have a duty to like not spread the gospel at that point? If the people who are maybe I'm misunderstanding this, or I'm just not reading it correctly, but if the people who didn't hear of God, or who didn't understand the doctrine, are like were exposed to it, they are free from the consequences of sin that everybody else is because they didn't know any better, then like, shouldn't we stop telling people about Christianity? I don't know. Refer to either grandiose delusions, a form of delusions where individuals believe they are more important and powerful than they are. It can be used metaphorically to describe a sense of immense, awe-inspiring scale or significance. In a psychological context, it's often associated with mental illnesses like bipolar disorder or schizophrenia. Interesting. No God, I agree. And when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites. Yeah, exactly. I think that's even in red letters. I think that's the big guy Jesus saying that in Matthew 6, but could be wrong. I'm not completely sure, but translating the Arabic and Quran to English tends to mess words and meanings up horribly. I mean, sure, but the meanings of the words, like the Arabic words for blood clot and water and nothing and clay and thick fluid and all these different things that we're claimed to be created from aren't so similar that there'd be such a deviation in it that it would lead to different claims in an English translation. So, I mean, sure, maybe in some like less pervasive ways, but definitely not enough to justify like the many different ways that contradictory ways that it claims that we were created, or what that claims the substance that Allah created us from, I should say. uh, it's like I'll grant it, but not enough to say like, okay, the Quran's actually free from contradiction. It's just the words got fudged up so much that we you know the word nothing and water and clay got transposed. You want to meet aliens? I don't know if I want to meet aliens. I feel like that'd be a really scary experience. Yeah, probably don't want that. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Slow night, so you call it a night. It's whatever. Not birthday night. It's already passed, but you know, had a birthday. Kind of just want to chill. They kind of just want to chill now that I have low viewers. Sour grapes, right? But I'm gonna get out of here. Finish all your good chocolate. Now you have to eat the bad chocolate. Is there such thing as bad chocolate though? Even like the really greasy, sugary stuff that you get from like the dollar store, it's still okay, right? I don't know. But anyway, I'm out of here. Have a good one. Peace. Take care. All that good stuff. If you want to talk off stream and if you're over the age of 18, join my Discord, add me on Snapchat. Don't DM me on anywhere. Like, don't DM me on TikTok or Instagram or Twitch or anything. I don't read it. I'm done reading DMs from people on those platforms if I don't know you already. So Discord, Snapchat, that's where you'll find.